തലസ്ഥാനത്ത് നടന്നുവന്ന ഹേയ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ സമാപിച്ചു. ലോകത്തെ അക്ഷരപ്രേമികളുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഫെസ്റ്റിവലുകളിൽ ഒന്നാണ് ഹേയ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ. കേവലം സാഹിത്യകാരന്മാർ മാത്രമല്ല, ചിന്തകർ, മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകർ, സംഗീത പ്രതിഭകൾ, ചലച്ചിത്രകാരന്മാർ തുടങ്ങി ലോകത്തെ പ്രതിഭാധനന്മാരുടെ സംഗമവേദിയായി തിരുവനന്തപുരത്തെ കനകക്കുന്ന് കൊട്ടാരം. 20 വർഷങ്ങളിലധികമായി ലോകത്തെ പ്രമുഖയിടങ്ങളിൽ നടത്തിപ്പോരുന്ന ഈ അക്ഷരവാചകമേള കേരളത്തിൽ ഇത് രണ്ടാമത്തേതാണ്. ഇന്ത്യ ഇത്തരം സംഗമവേദികൾക്ക് പറ്റിയ അന്തരീക്ഷമൊരുക്കുന്നുവെന്ന് മേളയുടെ സംരംഭകൻ പീറ്റർ ഫ്ലോറൻസ് MCN ന്യൂസിനോട് പറഞ്ഞു.
Well, we're just based here. I've worked for many years with William Dalrymple, who's an old friend of mine. We've known each other since we were so big in Edinburgh. And we were at university together, and he has his brilliant festival in Jaipur. So we really wanted to be as far away as is possible from Jaipur geographically. But what we found is that, you know, there are amazing writers in Malayalam who are not known in Britain, some of whom aren't even known in the English language in India. And literature, and particularly poetry, is the most incredibly local and personal of the arts, because the issue of language, poetry in your own language does things that nothing else can do. It does things that the great epics can't do. It does things that only you, with your birthright and your education, your upbringing in that culture, will understand. And that's magical. So there are, 1,000 other places in India where you could do festivals that were different, but for this one that mixes Malayalam and English and other international languages, this is the only place you could possibly do this festival.
കഥ പറയുന്നതിന്റെ ശൈലീ സൗന്ദര്യം ആസ്വദിക്കുവാൻ അവസരമൊരുക്കി ജാൻ ബ്ലേക്ക് മേളയിൽ വ്യത്യസ്ത സാന്നിധ്യമായി.
I physically engage with the story. It's not conscious act. I don't prepare. I don't say, okay, when I say this word I will do this movement, when I say this word I will do this. It's not like that for me. It's more a case of I have to tell this story.
But are there some stories you look at and say, no, I can't?
Only because they don't have an impact on me, or they have an impact on me that makes me go, oh no. There's no reason, there's no other reason. To me, to make a story really, don't love it. If you're not in love with the story, don't tell it. Simple. And also, I think if you find a written story that uses the same formula as a folk tale.
മേളയുടെ മുഖ്യ സംഘാടകരിലൊന്ന് ടീം വർക്ക് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻസ് എന്ന എന്റർടൈൻമെന്റ് കമ്പനിയാണ്. ടീം വർക്ക് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻസിന്റെ അമരക്കാരൻ സഞ്ജോയ് കെ റോയി ഹേയ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവലിന്റെ വിജയശില്പികളിൽ ഒന്നായിരുന്നു. സഞ്ജോയ് MCN ന്യൂസിനോട്.
We also continue to produce feature films, and we do quite a few feature films for South Indian cinema. Those feature films that are shot outside of India. If something is shot in India, we don't do it, but if it's shot outside, we invest, we create that stuff. We do a lot of documentaries for different channels as well, here and abroad. And we love to create a platform for young people and new work in all these areas of literature, film, fashion, theatre, dance, and the visual arts. That's basically what the work of teamwork is.
മലയാളിയും ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് നോവലിസ്റ്റുമായ അനിത നായർ മേളയിലെ മുഖ്യ മലയാളി സാന്നിധ്യമായിരുന്നു. ലേഡീസ് കുപ്പെ, മിസ്ട്രസ് തുടങ്ങി നിരവധി മികച്ച രചനകൾ തന്ന അനിത നായർ ഹേയ് ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ വില്ലേജിൽ വെച്ച് MCN ന്യൂസിനോട് തന്റെ സാഹിത്യ അനുഭവങ്ങൾ വിശദമാക്കി.
Well, I have written 4 novels. I have published a collection of short stories, a collection of poetry, and I have written 4 books for children. And last year I adapted one of my novels into a play which is performed in Bangalore. And now I have written the screenplay for one of my novels which is being made into a film. One of the most difficult things about Jesme is that it's written in dialect. It's written in that dialect that is on the Alappuzha coast. So it's not classical Malayalam, it's not even colloquial Malayalam to that extent. So I had to be able to catch the cadence of the dialect, to be able to translate it in such a way that it seemed like it's a dialect, but at the same time it wasn't bad English. That was one of the first challenges. And secondly, of course, was to make the translation read like an original work. So so it didn't read like a translation. One of the problems about reading translated work is that we always feel like we're losing something. Something has been lost in translation. There's something missing that is available to the original reader who's reading it in the original form. And when you read it in translation, you don't get the same beauty of the language. So the idea or my effort was really to be able to capture that beauty in its perfect form, so that even a reader reading Jesme in Malayalam could enjoy the thought process that Thagari put into it.
M. Mukundan, M.D. Vasudevan Nair, Yuris Salisbury, Sachidanandan, Anna Funder, Susanna Nicklin തുടങ്ങി നിരവധി പ്രതിഭകളാൽ സമ്പന്നമായിരുന്നു ഹേ ഫെസ്റ്റിവൽ.